You're the man now, you know you're the man now. Hands down, we made it. Big smile on my face, mama's proud.
Una bad vibes over there, have a good vibes on Gazea. We're blowing trees in the air, stacking my finger on those stairs. Una bad vibes over there, have a good vibes on Gazelle. We're blowing trees in the air, stacking my finger on those stairs. Don't be too insecure, it matters you are here. It may bend you, but have no
I'm refugee in my own country, but a long time me live here so can't go no way. Them really take poor people for food. Them really take. They can't believe it. Government want to move me. Me turn refugee in my own country, but a long time me live here so can't go no way. Them really take poor people for food. Them really take poor people for food. Oh, in this Babylon, where you get the system you're from? Those are young poor people and John no say me not vote again, no sir. Cause the MP don't give a damn. Where you get the system you're from? Both say me live on Scotland. Joe me don't rich like Matalan, no sir. Me a born Jamaican. Me nah have nowhere to go. Me born and me grow, you're so inna the ghetto. Bigger heads, beg you a blind now. Me can't buy a house up a Cherry Garden. Ashes to ashes, and dust to dust. The tribulation inna the ghetto is a must. Me never qualify in a housing trust. Cause me lose all of my money in a cash box. But me know say me a born Jamaican. Me dey from slavery as a African. Somebody tell me where my talent come from. We own so much land in our island. Tell me, it's a chill, go back to Japan. Cause Jamaica, feed the black man. From Moran Pine to the Grill Pine. From St. Thomas to Westmoreland. Oh, Miss Babylon, where you get the system you're from? Those are young poor people and John no say me not vote again, no sir. Cause the MP don't give a damn. Where you get the system you're from? Both say me live on Scotland. Joe me don't rich like Matalan, no sir. Me a born Jamaican. And yes, I'm a pick me band. So them no know nowhere else. Government care about them then no. Come and know you no care for the parents. Me beg you lease me the piece of land, yeah. Me nah have no problem for parent. Run come give me your eviction notice. For poor people you nah have no patience. Me know say me a born Jamaican. Me dey a from slavery as a African. Somebody tell me where my talent come from. We own so much land in our island. Tell me it's a chill, go back to Japan. Cause Jamaica, feed the black man. From Moran Pine to the Grill Pine. From St. Thomas to Westmoreland. Oh, Miss Babylon, where you get the system you're from? Those are young poor people and John no say me not vote again, no sir. Cause the MP don't give a damn. Where you get the system you're from? Both say me live on Scotland. Joe me don't rich like Matalan, no sir. Me a born Jamaican. Yeah. Yeah. Martin Luther black, Malcolm X black, Marcus Garvey black, Barack Obama black, Bill Clinton black. How you think about that? How a leap of great, some of the greatest people in African history document that. So free up black people, live up black people. I in a jailhouse, someone feel like people. Mental shackles and chain in a brain, them trap people. So free up black people, free up black people. In a jailhouse, someone feel like people. Mental shackles and chain in a brain, them trap people. Yeah, my point is, the meek shall never the earth, and me no matter what the fight is. And it was written long before the 80s or the 90s, before the colonel find the herbs and spices. Black people don't get caught in a
a victim, cause them system set. For them get the future, only the history will get. So free up black people, live up black people. I in a jailhouse, someone feel like people. Mental shackles and chain in a brain, them chop people. So free up black people, free up black people. In a jailhouse, someone feel like people. Mental shackles and chain in a brain, them chop people.
Tuko vitani kubwa sana, tuko vitani. Shale mikuki, risasi na mawe, hata bunduki. Sasa vita tunayojua ni ile ya kuishi, ile ya kuishi. Ukabila moyoni, walipanda mbegu, twachukiana kwetu, lakini hao watoto wao wanasoma, pesa zetu wanachota, mitaani tunasota, kaka zetu wanaoga, afya yetu yasorota, kila siku tunauoga, masomo yetu yanasorota, mioyo yetu yaogopa. Ende usubiri, ende watoto, ende usubiri. Rangi sasa ndio kazi, kila siku risasi, kura yako auza, kulia kushoto wanakudanganya, mbona huwani hivyo? Hao wanasoma, pesa zetu wanachota, mitaani tunasota, mabwana zetu wanauoga, afya yetu yasorota, kila siku tunauoga, masomo yetu yanasorota, mioyo yetu yaogopa. Ende usubiri, ende watoto,
mahiro wote wa Kenya, kila mtu amestruggle na hapo paid for, ili time ya paid for revolutionary corporate.
Najua nakoenda, najua wataka haki yako.
Cheki shujaa mzee, damu jasho machozi, mao wakashinda wao mashatu wakaenda na trophy, matigari hana hata kapi, serikali nataka nikuze Nairobi, mangati nataka wamangishe jirongi, wana kopi, they don't know who we be, haikosi, White Highlands no more, sisiri hawatoshi, hivi temepita rangi ya ngozi, na kabila najua ni mbili tu, maskini na mdosi, so synchronizing the time, 205, decolonizing the man, tuseme mbiliki, notice wana rats, visions za sheni wakifiro, bogi mato, mtu anatusi matiti ya madha linyonya, alafu anapigiwa makofi za kilo, washukudono wenye njiro, the same route, rape mama yetu njeri, hizi ni veto ya mahiro, ka Kenya ni matrix, nani ndio niyo, kake madhya kwa the one, then society ko drunk, na opium ilo semekana na Karl Marx, na vilabu ni church, na pay tax kwa harass baby, na mambanga, mothers can't even protect the babies, wanaume wezi protect my lady, wow, haki bengao, vita vya bunduki, kisa mkuki, bullets zivuke nayo, tangu era za nyayo, yeah, wanakumanga mzee, yeah.
Mtatukuta kwetu mtatuvamia, hiyo ilikuwa last year. Nilidhani mtaadisia sense kwa wimbo zenu tukisinzia, bado mnasinzia this year. Unaweza teta ukishukiwa kimakosa, unaweza tema ukishibishwa uonge mbaya, unaweza hepa ukinusiwa, unaweza tema ukizidiwa. Hakuna haja kujiforce kitu hautaki, unajua vile kwa uenda mgema kisishiwa. Raita mfema talibiwa na wife yake akarepiwa, na hiyo ndio asanti alipatiwa. Kufanya nini? Kuwatolea ma-idea za kuwasaidia, kuwabadilishia city. Ukuta zote si ni true, kama ngaro ya poko ya ku-expose pati ya juu ya mguu. Ikiandika ma-assassination, ma-sniper maarufu, opposite building kwa roof, maiti zinachwa kwa boots za ndai, boots na meza do. Time yako ya kuongea imeisha, maadui wanakuinda na harufu. Kwa ile roho safi na moyo mkunjufu wa Munyakei, kuanzisha corruption, zero tolerance. Fungulia kesi Golden Back na alipewa sati gani? Account iliarishwa design ya kolera. Tushavumilia viboko chini ya maslave master, hadi kupigwa na mayai ya kuoza kaa Kenyatta.
Na dedicate hii mahiro wote wa Kenya, kila mtu ame struggle na hapo paid for, ili time ya paid for revolutionary comrade. Cheki shujaa mzee, damu jasho machozi, mao wakashinda wao mashatu wakaenda na trophy, matigari hana hata kapi, serikali nataka nikuze Nairobi, mangati nataka wamangishe jirongi, wana kopi, they don't know who we be, haikosi, White Highlands no more, sisiri hawatoshi, hivi temepita rangi ya ngozi, na kabila najua ni mbili tu, maskini na mdosi, so synchronizing the time, 205, decolonizing the man, tuseme mbiliki, notice wana rats, visions za sheni wakifiro, bogi mato, mtu anatusi matiti ya madha linyonya, alafu anapigiwa makofi za kilo, washukudono wenye njiro, the same route, rape mama yetu njeri, hizi ni veto ya mahiro, ka Kenya ni matrix, nani ndio niyo, kake madhya kwa the one, then society ko drunk.
One love.
Viva comrades, viva! Siwaski, viva comrades, viva! We are about to start our program of the day, so I am requesting all of you to come close and settle, please. We have seats for our guest in the front 2 rows, so karibuni. Let's start. I'll give you 5 minutes to settle down, then we officially kick the program of the day off. Asanteni.
Buffalo soldier, dread like a Rasta. There was a buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought to America, fighting an arrival, fighting for survival. If you know your history, then you would know where you're coming from. Then you wouldn't have to ask me who the heck you would think I am. I'm just a buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought to America. Said he was fighting on arrival, fighting for survival. Said he was a buffalo soldier in the war for America. Said he, why yo yo, why yo yo yo, why yo 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 yo, why yo yo, why yo yo yo, why yo 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 yo. Buffalo soldier tried into the land. Ooh. Said if you're the ran and make him hold a hand. Tried into the land. Yeah, yeah. Said he was a buffalo soldier in the war for America. Buffalo soldier, dread like a Rasta. There was a buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought to America, fighting an arrival, fighting for survival. If you know your history, then you would know where you're coming from. Then you wouldn't have to ask me who the heck you would think I am. I'm just a buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought to America. Said he was fighting on arrival, fighting for survival. Said he was a buffalo soldier in the war for America. Said he, why yo yo, why yo yo yo, why yo 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 yo, why yo yo, why yo yo yo, why yo 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 yo. Buffalo soldier tried into the land. Ooh. Said if you're the ran and make him hold a hand. Tried into the land. Yeah, yeah. Said he was a buffalo soldier in the war for America. Buffalo soldier, dread like Rasta, fighting an arrival, fighting for survival, driven from the mainland to the heart of the Caribbean. Singing, why yo yo, why yo yo yo, why yo yo
Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Bob Marley, who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Rodney Price, he's been fighting for our rights. Recall Burning Spear, recall Culture Joseph Phil, recall Miss Lou Fitru, they've been fighting for our rights. Recall them. Recall them. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Paul Bogle, recall Marcus Garvey, recall Nelson Mandela, who's been fighting for our rights. Recall Bustamante, recall Norman Manley, recall Oprah Winfrey, that lady been fighting for our rights. Let's recall some great men. Recall them. Make we talk about Martin Luther King. Make we talk about Fidel Castro. Make we talk about Miss Rosa Parks. They've been fighting for our rights. Recall Che Guevara, Malcolm X and Gandhi. Recall Mugabe. They've been fighting for our rights. Recall them. Selassie, I say recall them. Let's recall.
Barua toka Jaramogi na Kenyatta, wanauliza kama Kenya kuko sawa. Nikawajibu Kenya tuko na disaster, watoto wetu wanazidi kuzikana. Na Tom Mboya ameshika tama, alituacha kama angali kijana. Je, angekuwa mambo yangekuwa sawa? Ndivyo walivyopanga Maulana. Deni mulizoacha bado tunalipa, na tumekopa zingine China. Tukajenga reli pia barabara, zilizobaki watu wakasanya. So tujiangalie, tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Sikio la kufa halisikii dawa, tuko kwa Twitter tunajibizana. Tujiangalie bade, tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga kuta, tusake zetu tungali vijana. Waumini kwa matrina, pasi kwa bima, kushoto fungu la 10, sadaka kulia. Ndio maana mbele ya kanisa mheshimiwa anakula sakramenti kabla ya raia. Siku za mwisho zimeshawadia, na revelation inatuambia hii generation inachoma picha. Ni generation yetu, so tujiangalie. Tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Sikio la kufa halisikii dawa, tuko kwa Twitter tunajibizana. Tujiangalie, tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga kuta, tusake zetu tungali vijana. Alisema tufungeni mikanda, ona leo twavuna tulichopanda. Kura zetu zilitugawanya, makabila na pesa pia tulimanga. So when you make your bed, usingizi gani tumelala? Tutajua
wakati tabaki mistori. Tujiangalie, tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Sikio la kufa halisikii dawa. Tuko kwa Twitter tunajibizana. Tujiangalie, tuko pabaya leo kuliko jana. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga kuta. Tusake zetu tungali vijana.
Mwenyezi Mungu aibariki Kenya yangu, kwa jina la Baba na la Mwana Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Kwa jina la Baba na la Mwana Roho Mtakatifu, amina. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Nguvu zangu nimeziweka mbele yako, bibi yangu na watoto nimewaweka mbele yako. Tabu zangu shida zangu ziangalie Kenya yangu, tabu zangu shida zangu ziangalie Kenya yangu. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu, ewe Kenya mama yangu, sitakuacha milele. Matajiri masikini sisi zote binadamu. Matajiri masikini sisi zote binadamu. Tusahau majivuno na tuache kupayuka. Tusahau majivuno na tuache kupayuka. Utajiri majivuno sio tikiti ya mbinguni. Utajiri majivuno sio tikiti ya mbinguni. Bahati yako ni ya leo, ile ya kesho ndiyo yangu. Bahati yako ni ya leo, ile ya kesho ndiyo yangu. Ewe Kenya nchi yangu, ewe Kenya baba yangu.
Viva, comrades, viva! We are about to start our program, so I request all of us to be sitting so that we start officially. Karibuni. I will now request all of us to be upstanding for our national anthem. DJ?
Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tulilinde, tuajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you. I will now request you to still be upstanding. I want to request the Social Justice Traveling Theatre to lead us with wimbo wa mapambano. Karibu.
Viva comrades, viva! More power to social justice, more power! Viva comrades, viva! Our left hand on our chest. Viva comrades, viva! Wimbo mapambano. Kupigwa na kupokonywa maisha hakutatuzuia sisi wananchi kunyakuwa uhuru wetu na haki ya jasho letu, na haki ya jasho letu. Tumekataa kupiga magoti mbele ya hawa wauaji. Bila shaka sisi pia ni watu, hali ya utumwa tumeikataa, hali ya utumwa tumeikataa. Tutanyakuwa mashamba yetu, tupiganie uhuru wetu, tuikomboe elimu yetu, utamaduni na viwanda vyetu, utamaduni na viwanda vyetu. Sisi hatutaki kudhulumiwa, hatutaki tena mauaji, ili kupe tuliangushe, haki na uhuru zichanue, haki na uhuru zichanue, na uhuru wetu, uhuru wetu wa Kenya tupiganie, na katiba yetu, katiba yetu wa Kenya tutekeleze, na vijana wetu wa Kenya, vijana wetu wa Kenya tuwatetee, na wamama wetu wa Kenya, wamama wetu wa Kenya tuwatetee, na watetezi wetu wa Kenya, watetezi wetu wa Kenya tuwakumbuke. Oleyo, oleyo, viva.
Thank you very much. You may now have your seats. I now want to take this chance to welcome the Executive Director of ICJ to officially open for us this particular event. Put our hands together to Eric Mokoya as he comes.
Chief Justice Emeritus David Maraga, the Chair of IPOA, Commissioner Isaac Hassan, my chairperson, Protas Saende, representative of the ODPP, representative from the US Embassy, heads of institutions present, especially the EDs of Missing Voices, good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, I recognize all of us who are here, and I would like to invite us to this occasion where I would like to speak to the question of enforced disappearances, on the questions of missing voices, the question of the paining mothers and fathers, the paining families who have never had or who continue grieving for things that are beyond them. As you've heard the song that's just been sung, that we have a constitution, and the constitution we would like to respect, the constitution we would like to promote, and we like to protect at all costs. I think in the preamble, we have committed that this constitution belongs to all of us. It is supposed to give us the country that we deserve, to create relationships between us as a people, but between us and the state in a way that respects democratic rights and values of a country that we can say has grown 62 years. 62 years of independence, and the things that we hear, I don't think that's a conversation we can run away from, because the reality is here. We are also calling upon the institutions that have been made by that constitution to ensure that they do their work. That's why we have a constitution. So with those few remarks, I would like to recognize my chairperson, because this is a membership institution, to then now officially welcome all of us here. Thank you very much. Karibu sana Bwana Sande.
Honorable Chief Justice Emeritus Maraga, IPOA Chair, representative from the ODPP, representative from the US Embassy, Ms. Claire, all executive directors present from the Missing Voices Coalition. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Now, I stand here this morning really appreciating all of you for being here. And as Eric Mukoya has already said, we are looking forward to working together as Missing Voices to ensure that we have the voices of those who have been affected heard. And because Eric Mukoya has already introduced what we're here to do today, mine, because we're the hosts, is just to welcome you. And I wish to ask that feel at home, and please know that ICJ Kenya, and on behalf of the council, I wish to state that we support. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And in the light of the work that Missing Voices Coalition does, which is particularly documentation of enforced disappearances, extrajudicial killings, I want to now welcome one of our partner organizations, Convener, to talk on the emerging trends of enforced disappearances and killings. Let's put our hands together for Wilfred Olal.
Viva, comrades, viva. More power to the people, more power. Down with extrajudicial killings, down. Down with abductions, down. Kwa majina naitwa Happy Olal. Mimi ni convener Social Justice Centers Working Group. Nimekuja hapa na bendera ya Kenya. Gen Z, mnajua siku hizi our symbol of resistance ni gani? Ni flag, si ndio? Na hii bendera kitambo ilikuwa symbol ya serikali ya kunyanyasa wananchi. Lakini kutoka last year imekuwa symbol ya watu kusema tunataka nchi yetu, we want our country back. Before I proceed, I would like us to stand for a moment of silence to remember all our comrades who were on the streets last year and lost their lives, akina Rex, Masai na wote. Nitaomba tusimame ili tuweze kuwapa heshima kwa dakika moja. You may take your seats. So I'm going to be very brief, but because of the presence of our mothers of victims, nitaomba kuzungumza kwa Kiswahili. One, kabla ya last year, mauaji mengi yalikuwa yanafanyika mtaani zetu, si ndio? Dandora, Mathare, Kariobangi, Kayole. Githurai, Kasarani. Na the last 2 years, kwa sababu ile kazi tumefanya kama social justice centers na our partners, tumeona kwamba kumekuwa na reduction ya mauaji, na ijakuwa tu imekuwa kwa sababu ya kazi, si ndio? Ambao watu wamedocument hizi cases na wakafuatilia saizi, na kulikuwa na kesi kubwa sana inaendelea ya Rashid. Watu wa Mathare mnajua ile shida tulipitia na Rashid, na tutaomba IPOA, kesi ya Rashid ambayo imempeleka ndani ni ya watu vijana wawili, si ndio? Lakini tuko sure watu wa Mathare na its environs ya kwamba Rashid aliua watu zaidi ya 100. Kwa hivyo tunaomba hizo kesi zingine pia ziweze kufuatiliwa. Huyo Rashid aweze kuwa accused of all the people that he killed while working in Mathare. So kumekuwa na reduction, lakini hiyo reduction imekuja na emergence ya mauaji ambao yako related na maandamano. Right now, you go to a protest, you don't know if you'll come back home alive. Unaweza poteza maisha, unaweza shikwa na polisi, ama unaweza kuwa abducted. Si ndio? Vijana mbona hamsemi? Si ni ukweli? Kwa hivyo maandamano ndio imekuwa the new trend ambao watu wanapoteza nao maisha through police. Tuko na comrade wetu Hezi kutoka Mukuru Justice Center. Alipigwa risasi, yako nyumbani mpaka saa hizi kwa sababu tu ya kuparticipate kwa mambo ya maandamano. Na pia kumekuwa na kitu inaitwa abductions ambayo haikukuwa kitambo. Tulikuwa na enforced disappearance ambao polisi walikuwa na shika mtu anapotea, lakini saa hizi unashikwa mpaka watu wana capture na kamera na hawajali, wanakushika wanakuweka kwa Subaru ya Mambaru ama Probox na unaenda. Some of them have been found alive like akina Longton Brothers, na wengine mpaka saa hizi hawajapatikana. So that is very worrying, especially for us who are on the front line. Another challenge right now is that tweeting never used to be a challenge, or drawing a cartoon. Right now, when you tweet, especially on issues of governance, haujui kama uko safe na hiyo tweet yako. So that is another emerging concern ya kwamba freedom of expression bado iko na challenge ya kwamba huwezi tuma message kwa Facebook, huwezi tweet kwa sababu hujui what will happen next. And I know this report will be able to cover that. Na pia nyumbani, tukisema mauaji ya nyumbani yamepungua kwa ghetto, imanishi ya kwamba bado hakuna shida. Saa hizi polisi wanatumia kitu inaitwa team building. Wasewa mtasi mnajua team building, where the police directs the vigilante, they come for you and you are killed through mob injustice. So that is the new normal ambayo iko mtaani, where police are not shooting directly, but they have a team, a squad that they are using to kill people in the name of security. So, and another trend was the protest, where young people are now taking over the freedom and the right to protest. And they are doing it very well. They are notifying the police through posters. So polisi asome poster alafu tukutane kwa street. Ile yetu ya kupeleka barua alafu wanajipanga kutuarrest imeisha. Finally, I would like to say that it is unfortunate, and I'm happy the IPOA chair is here, that of all the killings that happened last year, the last report that IPOA released, they said there were 2 cases in court. Na tunajiuliza zaidi ya watu 60, and that was last year alone. The previous year, close to 65 people had been killed on the protests also. So if mtoto akileta results, akikuambia amepata 2 out of 60, sijui utarate aje huo mtoto kama amefanya vizuri ama ameanguka mtihani. What we are asking is, these people need justice. Not only the people who lost their lives, but the people who are living with wounds in their homes, wako na bunduki na kwa mwili, and the people and the mothers are here, ambao wamekuwa kitafuta justice zaidi ya miaka 5 wakifuatilia na hawana matumaini ya kwamba watapata haki. Na nitamalizia ya kwamba tukumbuke Mama Victor, ambao last year while we were launching the report on missing voices, we were informed of the disappearance of Mama Victor, who lost her life due to floods. Even her, after the floods, the house and everything was taken away by government through eviction. The family is still hanging in limbo, but we cannot forget the work she did in the fight for extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearance immediately after losing her 2 sons on the same. Asanteni sana and mbarikiwe.
Thank you, comrade. I want to now welcome 2 Kenyans whose stories, one of them, story or testimonial has been featured in the report that Missing Voices has done. And as you will see later, and also hear from them, these are the people that have truly bared the brunt of the injustice that we are talking about today. I want us to now put our hands together for Julie Wanjira, who will talk on behalf of the victims, and then the chair of Champions for Justice. Julie, are you ready? Let's put our hands together as she comes. Viva, comrades, viva! Viva, comrades, viva! Karibu, Julie.
When we lose our fear, Wakenya, let me hear you loud and clear. When we lose our fear, when we lose our fear, they lose their power. Absolutely. And that is why that slogan was inspired by the extrajudicial killings we were experiencing in Mathare. And today, as we launch the Missing Voices report, it is unfortunate that we are no longer sinking into a dictatorship. Our country has become an actual dictatorship. We are worried about unajua natoka Mount Kenya. Sasa R na L, mutani excuse small, sindio? Oh, sorry, distinguished guests, I'm just seeing you all here. All protocol observed. The memorialization, clap for me, I have done it. The memorialization of the Gen Z protest is coming up, and we are actually planning to march to Parliament with flowers and demand that we have a monument honoring all those people who died outside Parliament. This will be planned by the Social Justice Movement Nairobi chapter, and we are asking you all to actually join us on that day. We go, because when we lose our fear, Kenya is our country, and we must be able to defend the democratic rights that we have gained over the years. We cannot allow ourselves to sink back into a dictatorship when we have the Constitution of Kenya 2010 that actually guarantees all of these rights that we are fighting for. We are not begging, it's actually there in the Constitution, Article 37 on rights for us to kuenda maandamano. And I'm very happy with the young people that actually sued the state, that said, you violated our right of protest. And they were awarded 200,000 shillings each. Did you see that story? They might not get the money, but this is a very important point to say that we are defending our constitutional rights in whatever ways. We will use the judiciary, we will continue to protest, we will continue to demand for these rights. And why we are choosing to go on with this resistance is because if we sit back, we are going to be in an even worse state than we are right now. Things have gotten progressively worse. So what do we do as the progressive forces in this country? We come together, consolidate our strengths kwa sababu tuko na different strengths, ndio? Sisi wa grassroots tukisema ni kutokea maandamano, si ndio lala? Tunaita Mbogi, tunafanya nini? Tunatokea maandamano. Wale wawakili wakijua watu wetu wameshikwa wanafanya nini? Wanakuja. That is the solidarity we need to build amongst each other so that we save this country from the gross violations of human rights that we are witnessing today. I send my solidarity to all mothers of victims and survivors network who are here today, and even those of us, and even those who are not able to be here today. I see you all, Mama Kevin, nawaona, na poleni sana kwa yaliyotendeka, lakini tuko pamoja kwa safari ya kutafuta justice na tutashinda, si ndio? All sovereign power. You don't sound like you have power. All sovereign power. All sovereign power. And who are the people? Who are the people? Asante sana.
Asante sana, Julie. Now I want to welcome the Chair of Champions of Justice. We've always worked with the victims and survivors themselves. And now I want to welcome Josephat Ongaya, who's the Chair of Champions of Justice. Let's put our hands together as he comes. Karibu, Josephat.
Comrades power. Comrades power. Naitwa Josephat Ongaya. Nashukuru sana wageni wetu waheshimiwa na wote ambao wameandaa mkutano. Nasema asanteni sana. Mungu aendelee kuwabariki. Naitwa Josephat Ongaya na mimi ni chair wa KCJ. Tuko watu 30 na nimetembea na 5 pale. Hebu mwefu tu mkono juu. Hao ndio nimetembea na wao. Na mimi naitwanga kwa group hiyo naitwanga Mukuru 7. Naitwa Mukuru 7 kwa nini? Mimi ni survivor. Mukuru 7 tulikuwa watoto wetu waliuawa the year 2019 mwezi wa 4 wakiwa vijana 8, lakini mmoja wetu yeye ndiye alihusika kwa kuita maskari, so tunajiitanga sisi Mukuru 7. Anasema nini? Wapendwa, mauaji ambayo inatokea katika Kenya yetu, heshima kweli inakosekana katika Kenya yetu. Mnapoona mauaji ambayo inafanyika na maskari, mimi za zingine najiulizanga, hawa maskari ni wazaliwa wa Kenya au watoka nchi zingine ndio wakakuja kuandikwa kazi hapa Kenya? Sababu yale ambayo tunaona wakiwafanya totally haipendezi sisi, na hata mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu haipendezi. Najua kwamba judgment wetu ni Mungu. Sasa ile inavyotakana katikati yetu, wapendwa, kuna mashirika ambayo yamejitolea kutushika mkono one of the victims ambao tuko na wao, wanastahili wapewe vipaumbele na maskari wale trainings zenye wanaendanga. Tunataka wapatiwe training wakielewa kwamba hawa watoto ambao wanauawa si wanyama, na hata hao ni wazazi. Sababu ya kwamba wakati mzazi anapozaa mtoto, yeye atamlea kwa miaka kidogo sana, lakini after 18 years or 20 years hayuko na yeye, hajui huyo atapatikana kukaa na wakina nani mahali ameenda. Na mimi ni chenye najua, malipo ni hapa tu duniani. So lazima tutafute mbinu zote juu chini kuona kwamba mauaji ya kiholela yaishe. Na itaisha namna gani? Sisi watu ambao tumevictimiziwa, sasa tunajiita survivors, tuwe watu wa kuhubiri amani katika village zetu. Na mikutano ambazo tunaenda, tuwaambie maskari ya kwamba kweli mnafanya kazi, mmechakuliwa kutulinda sisi. Ya nini tukae na uoga na nyinyi? Nyinyi marafiki zetu ni mandugu, nyinyi mandugu, nyinyi madada. Mbona tukae na nyinyi na uoga? Kuna mtu ambaye hata saa kutana na maskari atatoroka, labda hajapona. Mtu anapitia katika hali ya stress, anashikwa na trauma kwa sababu yale machungu ambayo amepitia wakati amekuwa victims. Anakupitia machungu makubwa sana. Hata mtu hataki kuona mtu ambaye anaitwa askari mbele yake. ni mandugu zetu, madada zetu. So kile ambacho kinahitajika, sisi mashirika tunaendelea kushikana mkono, tuona kwamba mauaji ya kiholela na watu kupotea kwa njia ile ambayo haieleweki ikomeshwe. Najua hii ujumbe inafikia kila mmoja, na mimi najua wengine wanautazama hii ujumbe ambao haya mambo ambayo tunazungumza mahali hapa, wanaiona hii information iwafikie, na lazima warekebishe jinsi wanavyofanya kazi. Wanapokea msaara, tukatai, lakini hii msaara ambao wanapokea, je, wanapokea katika njia ya haki? Kama wamepewa nafasi ya kulinda sisi na wanapokea msaara, wanapokea msaara ambao ni ya haki. Kwa hivyo mimi nimeshukuru sana, na mimi na imani ya kwamba tangu mambo ya justice yaanze kushughulikiwa katika village zetu hapa Nairobi, mauaji mengine sehemu zingine yamepungua, lakini police brutality, tutie bidii, tusikuwe na uoga, tusinyamaze kamwe, wache tuwe watu wa kuzungumza time to time, ili tuona kwamba wamefikishwa ujumbe au hawajafikishwa ujumbe, wamejua tumekataa mauaji ya kiholela holela. Kwa hayo machache, mpate kubarikiwa.
Tumpigie makofi tena. These are the voices of bravery that also drive us. When you see survivors taking a stand, then of course we are moving somewhere, and we believe that there sure will be change. Viva, comrades, viva. I want to the activists or other artists that we've also worked while doing our campaigns to decipher and make this Gen Z movement was majorly brought by the creative aspects. Let's put our hands together for the social justice traveling theater. Tuwapigie makofi wakija.
Business. Kwa ile watu wajafika. Hebu tulieni. Kwanza cheki, hatuna time ya kupiga kelele ati nani hajafanya kazi. Tuna lori 3 pale, zile manisa na hii kanta. Nenda ushaji gari. Kazi ni mingi. Rasmi na hiyo kazi ya leo. Mimi kwanza kama mkono wangu ni mgonjwa nafaa nimpeleke OC. Unacheki, sasa nipatie kidogo. Cheki, sikizeni. Unajua leo kuna majob, ile job tunafanyanga peke yake. Tungoje Brian akuje atudivide kazi. Lakini sasa hivi tuko watatu, wewe ndio uoshezo malori, uoshezo makio. Alafu mimi tena ushai kanta. Jamaa, pesa ni sangani unakuta. Sasa
Make sure.
Jonte umechoma picha. Tufanye ni aje? Nice, hapo. Tumia macho yako.
Sawa. Alafu wewe enda kwa mama, mimi nitabaki bebe. Mama yake ako home na home. Sasa ndio kangaizo huko nyuma nikienda hivyo. Tunapata station. Mwangalie stage.
Tafutie mwingine. Tafuta mwingine.
Karibie. Karibi. Karibi. Dada. Brea nini bibi gani aliniletea kwa hii nyumba?
Karibi.
Dada ni gani shosh?
Nilikwambia hii maruga wacha kuniambia ni rada ni kugatia.
Shosh unadai aje?
Kanini?
Eh?
Hiyo ruga yako sielewi lakini ile umepikia mtoto.
Shosho ndo nilikuwa nataka kuendea waba alafu nikuje nipike, sawa?
Kanini? Ile siku nyingine si mlisema mnaendea waba. Ukaenda ukakuja na kitu inakaa waba. Ilikuwa inakaa waba na mkaanza kushoga. Hiyo ndio unataka kuleta kwa hii nyumba?
Hapana shosh. Ni waba, wabling manze.
Kanini? Nita. Fanya hivi. Hadi ukaniletee maji. Ukipata Brian yuko ulipe ya vijana wengine, si unajua tu venye wanakuaga. Na uende na mtoto ndio ukuje haraka.
Shoshu nikalina mtoi wala.
Diraikara na mwana nie. Diraikara na mwana. Eda.
Shoshu wala.
Sikai na mtoto. Sikai. Ni mimi ulikuwa nazalia.
Sawa basi tangeende hizo mawabli.
Eda. Eda huko. Martin, ile wakati ingine ulikuja umekimbia hivyo kaua vifaraga. Sasa umekimbia hivyo unataka kuua mama yake. Neke Martin, umetumwa.
Shosho hivi unakuwa umeshikilia grajeo kifaranga. Fanyaje shosho wallahi?
Brian ametu ako
Martin. Brian yeye apiganagi, ako na bibi. Ni nini sasa amefanya?
Brian amekujiwa.
Ati amekujiwa?
Brian amekujiwa.
Agero no, nani amemkujia?
Kuna watu tu wamekuja walikuwa wamevaa civilian.
Hiyo ni nini?
Tunashukuru ni manguo za nyumbani. Kani niko na hizi vitu. Wakambeba, wakampiga, wakamweka kwa buti.
Ate maibo wewe, sasa wanaweza kuwa wamempeleka wapi?
Shosh, mimi niko swali makarao. Twende station. Twende station.
Oi Brian. Oi, shosh, kai. Mama tu warako. Kenya mimi siami. Huyu mtu anapiga president akiatu. Hata vumbi yezi toka. Huyu mtu ni mpaka ametoka. Hii pande ya Kitengela hii. Hii pande ya Kitengela ndo kuna hii vumbi. Na mtu alitembea siku kama ngapi? Estimation police officer. Hata ile wimbo ndo imerudi. Uliza kiatu. Nini? Kwa nini unashtua hapa? Songa huko. Songa. Nimesema songa huko. Songa tena. 100 meters songa. Nimesema simama hapo. Kwa nini unashtukuja hivyo? Unaitwa nani? Unataka nini? Umetoka wapi? Unataka aje?
Afisa, kwa majina najulikana kama Kimani Karanja. Natoka mtaa wa Matopeni.
Ongea pole. Chagua kitu moja unapumua kwanza.
Najulikana kama Kimani Karanja. Natoka mtaa wa Matopeni. Nimekuja hapa kuangalia rafiki yangu mwenye ameshikwa. Leo asubuhi tulikuwa naye pale Kawash.
Nani ameshika yeye?
Maafisa wawili walikuwa wamevaa plane.
Hiyo plane kijana ni nini? Plane nini?
Civilian. Na venye wamemshika wakamuingiza kwa Probox, wakamfinya na Probox yenyewe haina number plate. So hiyo Probox ilikuwa ina head towards Kosovo police station.
Kwa hivyo wewe uliona kienda Kosovo ukasema imeingia hapa?
Nimetoka Matopeni police station.
Umeona ikiingia hapa?
Nimetoka Matopeni police station.
Wewe kijana yako anaitwa nani?
Anaitwa Brian Bahati.
Alishukwa saa ngapi?
Leo asubuhi saa 2.
Saa mbili asubuhi. Brighton Kinyanjui.
Brian.
Oh, Brian. Brandon Waweru.
Brian Kange.
Hayuko kijana, huyo mtu hayuko hapa.
Afisa tafadhali.
Kijana huyo mtu unataka kunifundisha ama unataka kuangalia?
Muangalie tu kama umeletwa.
Unataka kumwangalia hapa? Unataka kumwangalia? Toa mshipi na kiatu, ingia hapa na. Afande hapa hiyo kazi. Ukuja ubebe kuna kazi ya bure hapa, pesa iko. Wewe toka hapa kijana, toka. Mjinga wewe.
Unasikia nimeuliza kwa OB. Jina ya Brian Bahati haiko.
Kaidetu. Habari yako? Nzuri sana mama.
Nimekuja kuangalia mjukuu yangu.
Mjukuu yako umefanya nini?
Ilikamatwa ikaletwa huku.
Nani amekamata yeye?
Bwanangu.
Nani amekamata yeye? Amekamata ameletwa huku. Nani amekamata?
Alishikwa asubuhi na wale mapolisi nilikwambia.
Mama, huyo kijana anaitwa nani?
Brian Kange.
Na si huyo kijana umetoka hapa, nimekuambia huyo kijana. Tokeni hapo, kijana yuko hapa mama, toka. Tokeni hapo, kijana yuko hapa mama. Kijana si umetoka hapa, nimekuambia yuko. Tokeni muende. Afande. Watu wamekuja maandamano police station. Uyuko vijana hapa wanakuja kuandamana. Wako hapa.
Hata kuna mtu anaandamana.
Mnakuja kupiga kelele police station.
Hatuna ubaya afisa. Afisa.
Mnapigia mabusu kelele hapo ndani wanalala. Unataka nini?
Afisa tusaidieni.
Tunataka bwanangu.
Afande, achana na hao afande. Huyo kijana wanasema anatafuta anaitwa Brian Kang'ethe Bahati. Huyo jina inasema hata iko hapa na afande, unajua kama mtu haiko kitabu ya OB, haiko ndani.
Ni hivyo basi. Hayuko hapa.
Alishikwa kale.
Hayuko afande. Ile watu wanasema imeshika yeye alikuwa amevaa civilian na hata hajui number plate ya gari huo ni wapi.
Sasa hiyo ni shida. Wewe sikiza. Unaona hii police station? Hakuna afande anafanya kazi hapa bila uniform.
Of course.
Tunaona sisi tumevaa. Fanya hivi. Mwenye walimshika si wa hapa. Enda huko, tafuta yeye kwa police station zingine huko nje.
Ende amuja tafuta vizuri.
That's why tumekuja hapa Kosovo police station.
Afande fukuza hiyo.
Kama hiyo ni mbaya, enda hospitali. Tafuta
hiyo.
Wewe msikani kama unanipigia kelele mnasikia.
Afande fukuza.
Fanya hivi. Enda tafuta yeye mochari.
Fukuza. Afande
tutashika hii saa hii. Atufungie huko ndani kabisa.
This is too much. Mtani vijana washikwa ovyo ovyo.
Hizi ni gani? Unataka kuniambia bado tunataka kupoteza Brayo?
Huyu ni mtu wa tatu. Nani mtu wa tatu? Hii kitu kiendelea mtaa.
Mwana, acha nikwambie, hii ni kitu tumeanza kuzoea. Hivyo ndio brother ananisha ila alienda na watu walinyamaza. Brayo lazima tufanye kitu man. Sasa mimi nadhani wewe uko na plan.
Ona, chenye ufanye, eni saidie mama Brayo kwenda kwa OC. Na hata mimi nitembee kwa public mortuary za gava. Tujue kama kweli ameumizwa ama amededi.
Kama fanyaje? Kuna ile group ya kina Musa huko chini. Waambie kama unaweza kusaidia kukava hiyo side. Mkuja tukave huko juu. Teke tu basi.
Pole. We, hebu tuharakishe twende hii chama.
Kabla waanze kutuambia story ya fight.
Kwanza hako kama mama vile kanavanga nguo fupi.
Na kanakuaga na roho.
Na kanisa vile anajifanyaga. Kwani utamo? Habari yako?
Tunaenda shama.
Ilikuwa siku ya shama. Hata mimi naenda hivyo. Na mumesikia?
Nini?
Hamjasikia?
Nini?
Kuhusu yu kijana alipotea, Brian.
Brian.
Tumesikia. Hajapatikana mpaka sasa hivi.
Mpaka wa leo.
Ginyamode.
Miezi mbili.
Miezi ngapi?
Kai.
Mimi nakwambia nimeshtuka kusikia maneno.
Ama ni kama ule vizuri hivyo.
Ama ni kama story ule kijana kwa nini
Unamkumbuka?
Ule deshwa huko shule.
Pia yeye alipoteaga.
Mwenye alipatikana nikatakota amerushwa kwa msitu.
Wewe washo.
Ona sio heri huyo. Najua ule kijana ule wa mama Kimodho. Ule ya Kimodho. Ule mwenye hata tuko tunaweza kumjua. Mara kishwa imekwa kado. Mikono imekwa kado. Yaani kama si hiyo tatu alikuwa ameshora hapa. Hatungemjua. Tungemjua aje.
Huyu alitolewa kafara. Hiyo ni Illuminati.
Na ndio maana nabiaga kefini wangu. Idea join shash.
Muhimu
Kwa
kabisa.
sababu unaona kigeyo youth. Hii mambo ya devil worshipper haitamupata. Hii nakuambia mambo ya kanisa lazima tufuze watoto wetu. Kwa sababu wakiwa kanisa, Mungu atakataa hii mambo ya hari mashwara de.
Amen.
Ni mambo si rahisi. Si rahisi hata kidogo.
Wewe unajua huyo anaitwa Brian. Amewasha bibi mdogo anatoshana aje na katoto.
Maana diramu
Sasa imagine ako kasichana sahi kamekoda. Na huyo mtoto wake ananyonya. Sasa sahi atanyonya nini?
Kanini wakini mwana akujubuju. Ako aje mtoto. Ni aje toto. Gai ni arega. Kanini umefika? Uko aje?
Naendelea tu kupambana na hii maisha.
Kanini. Shosho ako aje?
Shosho pia ako poa. Yeye tu anang'ang'ana tu lakini si rahisi.
Na blood pressure yake haipadi.
Haijapada. Iwezi kuwa imepada. Usishtuke, tuko na wewe na tunaombea. Kama kuna kitu moja sisi wa mama tunafanyaga ni maombi. Kwa sababu tunajua hatuwezi ishi bila maombi. Kwa hivyo usishtuke.
Hata shosho amenituma unikopeshe maziwa na sukari.
Ni maziwa na sukari. Sasa nitakosaje kumpatia? Lazima na Pampers duka make. Fanya tu hivi, hadi wabie Kevin hapo akupatie hizo vitu zote zenye unataka, lakini andika kwa kitabu ya deni. Sasa atakosaje kuandika kwa kitabu ya deni? Aje tu andika kwa kitabu ya deni na utapata hizo vitu zote.
Na asante. Asisahau kumwokesea kama
apatie mtoto yogurt kwa sababu ya malnutrition. Naona venye mnakaa hamkai vizuri kabisa. Ni sawa basi. Pia usalimie Soso. Mwambie tuko nyuma ile mkutano.
Tunakuja mkutano. Sawa, asante.
Kamekonda. Gai,
mlikuwa mnafikiria ni mchezo.
Yaani unataka kusema kamekonda hivyo vyote? Hizo miezi 2. Gai. Na Soso yake ako na blood pressure. Asikufe. Dawa akue. Asikufe. Wataisha. Tumekataa katika jina la Yesu. Kai, imagine amekoda hivyo vyote. Hasa.
Itabidi tumefanya ile tu penye imefika sasa. Najua si rahisi, hajakuwa rahisi hata. Lakini sawa tu. Poleni sana Shosh. Asanteni. Shosh. Nashukuru sana. Na kabla hatujaanza ningeomba mmoja wenu atufungulie kwa maombi tafadhali.
Fungeni macho tuombe. Mungu, asante kwa kutuunganisha leo. Tunapoanza uwe nasi na tunapomaliza. Amen.
Amen. Nashukuru sana kwa wanakijiji, Amnesty, Defenders, Missing Voices, IJM, nyinyi wote tunashukuru sana kwa kusimama na hii familia. Haijakuwa wakati mrahisi sana. Kwa sasa jinsi mnavyojua tumemtafuta kijana wetu Brian kwa miezi 2 na tujampata. Brian alikuwa kijana mwenye bidii. Hiki kijiji kilikuwa kimempenda. Alilinda familia yake. Inatuuma sana. Lakini jinsi mnavyojua kama mila na desturi ya babake Brian, itatubidi sasa tumezika mgomba wa ndizi.
Sijawahi sikia hivyo. Ona tuzike mgomba. Hii inamaanisha watoto wetu watakuwa wanapotea. Tunafanya tu hivyo. Lazima tutafute haki kwa huyu kijana. Lazima tupate. Hapa nini mnajaribu kusema hapa?
Hapa mimi nashangaa. Na by the way, mjadala hii katika uchunguzi ya kutafuta Brian. Mimi ni learn something new. Nini hiyo? Mimi nilikaa realize kumbe kuna kitu inaitwa habeas corpus. Habeas corpus. Yeah, habeas corpus. Sasa what is that? Hiyo inamaanisha tunaweza enda kotini na tu file for hiyo habeas corpus. Hiyo habeas corpus inamaanisha jaji anaweza toa amri ya tupatiwe mwili wa Brian either akiwa dead or alive. Na mimi naona hii
Asante sana kijana, asante sana. Kwa hakika tutafaili hiyo habeas corpus. Na tunashukuru sana, najua sisi wote tumelearn kuhusu habeas corpus. Lakini sijasema ya kwamba tunazika mwili wa Brian. Nimesema ya kwamba tunazika mgomba wa ndizi. Na kisha tutakapopata huyu kijana Brian, tutafukua huo mgomba. Ni sawa sawa na kijiji? Ni sawa sawa? Ninaomba defenders, IJM, Amnesty na kila mmoja hapa, tuendelee kushikilia hii familia. Tuendelee kuwaombea. Haijakuwa wakati mrahisi.
Barua toka Jaramogi na Kimathi, wanauliza kama Kenya tuko sawa. Kawaambia Kenya tuko na disaster, watoto wetu wanazidi kuzikana. Na Rex Masai ameshika tama, alituacha kama angali kijana. Je, angekuwa mambo yangekuwa sawa? Ndivyo alivyopanga Maulana. Tujiangalie, tuko mabaya leo kuliko jana. Sikio la kufa halisikii dawa. Tuko matita tunajibizana. Tujiangalie, tuko mabaya leo kuliko jana. Tusipoziba ufa tunajenga ukuta. Tupigane haki tungali vijana. Tujiangalie, tuko mabaya leo kuliko jana. Sikio la kufa halisikii dawa. Tuko kwa Twitter tunajibizana. Tujiangalie, tuko mabaya leo kuliko jana. Tusipoziba ufa tutajenga ukuta. Tupigane haki tungali vijana.
Tuendelee kuwapigia makofi tafadhali.
Makofi tena. Yeah, our chief guest, Chief Justice Emeritus David Maraga, IPOA Chair, and all guests who are here. We want to thank you for attending this event where we are launching the Missing Voices 2024 report on trends on police killings and enforced disappearances. And right now, I want to invite International Justice Mission Kenya Country Director, Mr. Vincent Chahale, who will read the main statement about the report, and then he will invite the Chief Justice Emeritus to give his remarks because I know he's going somewhere, and then after that we'll have responses to the statement after the main speech. Welcome, Mr. Chahale.
Just like all of us, I'm also still smarting from the play that we have just watched. And more so because even as I read the statement, the numbers that I'm going to read, there's a story such as the one we've just watched behind every number and behind every case. There is a parent grieving, there's a child grieving, and we must then therefore pursue justice for all these cases. Before I do that, I just want to recognize the presence of and acknowledge the presence of our guests. I acknowledge the presence of Chief Justice Emeritus, Honorable David Kenani Maraga. I recognize the presence of the chairperson of IPOA, Mr. Ahmed Isaac Hassan. I recognize Ms. Mercy Shiresi, National Police Service representative from the IG's office. I recognize the presence of Ms. Faith Odhiambo, President of the Law Society of Kenya. I recognize the presence of Stephen Mundia, the LSK Nairobi branch chair. I recognize the representative from the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Mr. Jalson. I recognize the presence of Cynthia Oluwande from NCAJ, Mr. Abubakar Mumbo, Reverend Elias Agola, Chair of NCCK, our development partners, heads of missions, Ms. Claire Thomas, U.S. Department of State, all the guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'm reading the statement on behalf of the Missing Voices. Missing Voices is a coalition of several civil society organizations, and they're all represented here. My colleagues are seated on my right. The statement is dated May 7th, 2025, and it is basically a summation of the report that we shall shortly release. There are 5 major highlights of this year's 2024 Missing Voices report. 1, enforced disappearances by police were up by nearly 5 times as compared to 2023. June and July were the deadliest months, and this is a repetitive compared to 2023. It also had the same pattern. Nairobi was the deadliest county, recording the highest number of cases of extrajudicial killings, followed by Kiambu and Migori. Of these cases, less than 2% of extrajudicial killing cases are in court. Most of the enforced disappearances were neither prosecuted nor allowed, most victims of enforced disappearances were neither prosecuted nor allowed to demonstrate their innocence in a court of law. They have not received justice or compensation by the time of the report. Missing Voices documented a total of 159 cases of extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances in 2024. Out of these cases, 104, that's a representation of 65%, were incidents of police-related killings, while 55, that is 35%, were those of enforced disappearances. 2024 marked the year that the coalition recorded the highest number of cases of enforced disappearances. Before then, 2019 had the highest number of cases of enforced disappearances at 38. 2024 saw an increase by 24% of cases of enforced disappearances and police killings compared to 2023. Enforced disappearances increased by 450% from 10 cases in 2023 to 55 in 2024. However, cases of police-related killings saw a drop of 12% from 118 in 2023 to 104 in 2024. Most cases of extrajudicial killings took place during the Gen Z demos between June and August, with June recording the highest number at 38, 11 in July, and 9 in August, bringing the killing cases to a total of 58 during that period. Nairobi County led with the number of killings at 38, followed by Kiambu, 9, Migori, 6, Kakamega, 5, Nakuru, 5, Makueni, 4, and Uasin Gishu, 4. Most victims of extrajudicial killings were youth. That means they were between the ages of 18 and 34, which was 79, followed by adults at 18 and minors at 7. In terms of gender, there was a 91% representation of the male gender as victims of extrajudicial killings, and the rest, 9%, were female. And we saw that young men continue to bear the brunt of the cases of police killings. The 2024 enforced disappearance statistics exclude 36 members of Uganda who were abducted in Kisumu on 23rd of July 2024. The 104 incidences of extrajudicial killings exclude also 50 bullet-riddled unclaimed bodies in the city mortuary reported to have been booked on 25th of July 2024. While these bodies were booked at the height of the protest, most voices has yet to verify and establish the link to police action independently. However, we mentioned them in the report due to their magnitude, just like the 2022 report, since the manner of killings was suspicious. Missing Voices highlighted the 50 cases, even though they are not part of our verified totals. Despite the high number of enforced disappearances, no officer has been taken to court and charged with the crimes. The Independent Policing Oversight Authority has reported 60 cases arising out of the protest. However, so far, only 2 have been taken to court. This was in response to the recent release of the BBC documentary, Blood Parliament. The challenges of investigating and prosecuting cases emanating from protests have necessitated the doctrine of command responsibility, which Missing Voices and its partners are pursuing in the Baby Pendo case. We are concerned that the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions dropped charges against 8 senior commanders who had been lined up for prosecution. Even more worrying was the move by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions to expose witnesses in the charge sheet and thus endangering their safety. It is worrisome also that the majority of cases forwarded to the Office of the DPP arising from protests have either been returned for further investigations or closed, making it difficult to hold police officers to account for public order management violations. We are deeply concerned about the excessive use of force, especially during election periods and consequential picketing and peaceful protests that frequently have ended in assault, grievous harm, and sadly, loss of life. Missing Voices recognizes that police officers serve as custodians of law and order and should exercise their mandate per the established legal requirements. This underpins the importance of enforcing the principle of command responsibility, which would hold senior police officers to account, thus enhancing accountability, where abuses cannot be linked to individual officers. We urge, therefore, the investigative agencies, including IPOA, Internal Affairs Unit, and the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, to adopt advanced technological tools, such as photo metadata analysis, to strengthen evidence gathering in cases involving unlawful use of force and firearms during public protests. Reliable digital evidence is critical to ensuring accountability and restoring public trust in law enforcement. We therefore demand the following: that the National Police Services to undertake intense radical reforms that will ensure non-reoccurrence of the violent policing seen in 2024. IPOA and ODPP to urgently act on cases touching on command responsibility to address the deaths during the protests. Parliament to allocate funds to Victim Protection Fund to adequately cater for reparations for all victims and families of extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances. Further, that the state fulfills its commitment to ratify the International Convention for Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearances that Kenya assented to in 2007, and for Parliament to enact legislation criminalizing enforced disappearances and our own domestic law. The executive needs to implement and fully operationalize the National Coroner Service Act and establish the National Coroner Service to support independent investigations into all deaths. And finally, we urge the National Police Service to enhance community policing to bridge the trust gap between the public and security agencies. Thank you. That is the end of the statement.
Thank you, Mr. Chahale. The Chief Justice Emeritus has told us that he will give us time. So thank you so much for that. So we'll continue with the lineup speakers. So next, I will invite the representative of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, Mr. Monari. Please welcome. Makofi kwake.
Thank you. My name is Jalson Makori, not Monari. I'm happy to be here for the launch of the Missing Voices. My is already a demonstration that the office is keen to working with the civil society organization, keen to collaborate, and we are also asking you to cooperate with the agencies that are investigating the cases that you have already highlighted here. Yes, mine was just to come and witness the launching of the Missing Voices. It's good that Mr. Chahale in his statement I wish to say that it was a milestone. We did prosecute some officers in the Baby Pendo case. This is a big milestone. As you said, the command responsibility. It's one area that has never been tried and tested, and we are willing to go all the way. The DPP in ensuring that justice is done where protests are held and there are unlawful arrests or killings has formed a unit, a specialized unit, that is the Civil and Human Rights Unit or division within the ODPP. This unit works hand in hand together with the IPOA. We get to listen to cases, the complaints, and we are also asking you, the public, to forward any complaint, or if you have evidence, to either go to IPOA, or even if you cannot reach IPOA, our office is open, the door is open. You can come to the office and report any of those excesses from the police. So I'm happy to be here, and with those few remarks, I wish to say that we will look into the report, and if there are cases that have not been reported or they have not been handled at our office or reached at our office, we look at the report and we'll follow up with the cases that have been highlighted in the report. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Makori. And also thank you for the Office of the DPP to come to this launch. It is very important when government partners come and listen from the people. This is very good. We really appreciate. Next, I'm going to call the chairperson of NCCK, Reverend Dr. Elias Agola, to come and give his remarks. Makofi kwake.
Thank you. Allow me to ride on the protocol that is already established, and to thank you for the invitation to the National Council of Churches of Kenya, NCCK, an umbrella body that coordinates over 17 million Kenyans in our religious coordinating body, the NCCK. We represent the oldest coordination of churches in Kenya, in this country, and our voices have always been added to the voices that make interventions that require to be heard. I was moved to tears by the skit that was given here, until we said that that should be aired live in the country, and also be acted in most of our churches, especially where these atrocities were committed. We know that that team can be supported to do a lot and to enlighten people on how these abductions and killings can be done. And when we see young people coming to do such a skit, we know again that they have spent a lot of time in preparing for that skit. And so all organizations that are here should be willing and ready to support, and especially the government agencies that are here. This is a clear message on what happens in our institutions, where people run to for help, and where people run to be served. The churches are joining these missing voices and saying that we can be part and parcel of this movement and add our voices with you, the IJM, the ICJ, and the other institutions that are here. We pledge our commitment, and we also pledge our support for this very important initiative. We cannot say that our country is safe, because if people are are missing and nobody can, account for their whereabouts, and when you go to these institutions where we are supposed to be served, we are met with cruelty and disservice to the people that are paying for their salaries. It is very, very unfortunate. And so we would like to say that our country should be made safe by our institutions and by all of us. And the voices that are calling out these people that are doing disservice to the country should be amplified further and further. We, the church, have always joined you, and we will always join those voices. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I said we are really happy when government partners join us, and we are thankful that Witness Protection Agency is here, which is a good thing, because in our statement we mentioned, like in Baby Pendo case, we are concerned that witnesses were exposed, and the Witness Protection is ready to come and defend. But right now, we're also very happy that we invited the Office of the National Police Service, and the Inspector General has sent a representative from the IG's office. Her name is Mercy Shiresi. So I will invite Mercy Shiresi to come and acknowledge that the IG office and NPS has attended this. Karibuni sana, na makofi kwake.
Our chief guests, all protocols observed, good afternoon. My name is Mercy Shiresi from IG's office, and I'm here to say we've heard your voices. I'm here to take the report back to the boss, and I'm sure action will be taken. Thank you so much.
Yeah, officers, a few words, but I know the IG has released a number of statements. He has reacted to it. He has said that police officers should work with IPOA, so that is a good commitment. And thank you so much for coming. Next, I'm going to invite Mr. Abubakar Mumbo from the office of Senator Okiya Omutata. He's been a very big supporter of the Missing Voices Coalition. Where are you, Mr. Abubakar? 1, 2, karibu sana, makofi kwake.
Thank you very much, and a small correction that my name is Wycliffe Nyakina and not Abubakar. Thank you for that. I rely on the protocols that have been established, and to represent the Senator of the Republic of Kenya, Senator Okiya Omutata, in this sitting. And he could not be able to attend because he had a case in Busia, so he traveled yesterday and asked me to represent him. So we are together and we really recognize the efforts that are being done by Kenyans and ICJ in particular to bring out this issue of the missing voices. And at our part in the office of the Senator, we have indeed done part of this work, and we have been following up all those who have disappeared. And you may remember some of the young people who had visited earlier our offices in December, who were abducted and then they were disappeared. And it forced the Senator to really push for the narrative and the issue until they were released. Basically, individuals like Kibeti Bull, who had visited our office on 24th of December. Then when he left, then he was abducted and then he got disappeared. We thank God that he was found, but then since then we have also engaged with many of these young people who have left wherever they were and who are with us these days out here. But what is shocking, and this one I may bring it because Hassan, Commissioner, you are around, from the CJ Maraga, that in fact the history and the stories that they are giving is that there are very many people they left wherever they had been abducted. In fact, this one we have recorded this in our office, and then it is high time that all of us look for ways and means to look for who are these that they left and where is this particular place, and so that we put pressure in the government and to make sure that these people are released and are with us. That is what I may have to say, but otherwise we are together. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Next, I'm going to invite the Law Society of Kenya President, Ms. Faith Odhiambo. Please come and give your remarks. Makofi kwa one of our fighters for justice, Faith.
Good morning, everyone. Oh, it's afternoon now. The Honorable Chief Justice Emeritus, David Maraga, the Chair of IPOA, Ibrahim Isaac. Allow me to adopt the protocols as previously pronounced. Good afternoon. First of all, I want to just congratulate the team for this wonderful report. I think accountability, once tabled on pen and paper, then we should never forget, and we should continue to strive for the fight to hold those in power accountable. I bring you my warm regards from the Law Society of Kenya, where we continue to file as many petitions as we can. I thank the International Justice Mission and the Missing Voices Coalition for your tireless work, and the roving theater or the traveling theater. The traveling theater, I think you really brought to life the emotions, the feelings, and the reality of a lot of the situations that we continued to see at the different police stations around the country during the Gen Z protest. Thank you for being the voices through art of those who continue to seek justice. You have stubbornly refused to be silent in the face of injustice. You have insisted that every life matters, and that when a Kenyan goes missing at the hands of those sworn to protect, we must all show up in court, in public discourse, and in solidarity. The Missing Voices report is not just a compilation of statistics, it's a mirror that reflects both the cruelty of impunity and the courage of accountability. Each data point represents a mother who is still waiting, a child who doesn't understand, and a system that still owes an explanation. But this report is also a call to action, because law is not meant to be just read, it's meant to be lived. And when the Constitution says every person has the right to life, it does not include an asterisk for when someone is poor, when someone is young, or inconvenient to the state. As the Law Society of Kenya, we stand ready to hold briefs, robe on our shoulders and backs unbent. Our courts must remain temples of justice. not echo chambers of delay, no chambers of injustice and corruption. We owe it to the missing, the widowed, the orphaned, and yes, to our own humanity. This is not a fight for activists alone, it's a national duty. It must be said, enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings are not bad apples. They're the symptoms of institutional rot that demand constitutional fumigation. Before I conclude, I want to just continue to raise concern. After raising so much hue and cry about Baby Pendo's case and seeing finally charges are made against some, we continue to see the inequality and injustice in our system. Some seniors are set aside, charges are not meted against them. Who do we hold accountable for that? Charges are changed, and I dare say injustice starts even from the charges. If you frame the charges in a manner to ensure that the threshold will not be met, it is playing it's playing to the gallery. You want to be seen like you're doing work, yet you're doing absolutely nothing. And I dare say to our constitutional friends, you have a responsibility and a duty. And I hope one day it will be time to hold former office bearers personally accountable. Because when you change things for the purposes of ensuring that there is injustice, then you can offload that responsibility to a different institution, yet the failure started with you. We shall hold you accountable. And so I want to say that Baby Pendo's case is a case that we should all follow. It's a case that we should hold the different institutions that are there accountable, because it is one of the cases that stems the question of, can we hold our police officers accountable? Not all police officers are bad. That's not the notion that we're saying. But we're saying the ones who are bad must be rooted out. They swear an oath of office to defend, to protect. If they are loyal to their country, to their people, and to their nation, then they must uphold the rule of law. They must exercise restraint. They should not be allowed that we continue to see police officers that are being investigated, that have defiled people, that have maimed, shot, killed, continue to sit in those given police stations. Nothing is done. Justice must also be seen to be done. Public officers are made to step down when there are charges against them. Though for corruption, they are made to step down. But it's also a corrupt system when we continue to see those who are being investigated, those who there are charges against them, continue to sit in those police stations. Tell me, how will people come to raise their voice? How will people report these crimes to the same police officers who are sitting in those police stations? Let's get off our high horses and start holding people accountable. It's not enough to only say public servants to step down. Those police officers that are being investigated should also step aside and allow for investigation. They should not continue to sit in those police stations. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Faith, for that. Next, we only have 2 speeches remaining. But before we move to the chair in Independent Policing Oversight Authority, I want to recognize the 11 Missing Voices directors. Missing Voices is a coalition of 15 organizations, both international and local. And so because we have 10 of them here, the directors, and all of them cannot speak, so I'm going to read their names and then they can just raise up and first we have Katiba Institute, Nora Mbagathi, makofi kwake. Then we have Yusuf Abubakar from Haki Africa. We have Wangeshi Grace from IMLU. We have Irungu Houghton from Amnesty International. We have Happy Olal from Social Justice Center's Working Group. We have Alberto Fate from PBI, Peace Brigade International. We have Joachim Paul from Henrik Ball Foundation. We have Mr. Eric Mukoya from ICJ Kenya. We have Mr. Vincent Chahale from International Justice Mission Kenya. We have Jacob Etiang from Usalama Reforms. Makofi kwao. So next, it's my honor to invite the chair of Independent Policing Oversight Authority, Karibu sana.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. The chief guest of the event, Chief Justice David Maraga, all other protocols observed. My name is Ahmed Isaac Hassan. I'm the chair of IPOA, but I'm also here as a member of ICJ. And I want to thank ICJ for the work we're doing and for inviting us for this very important forum. I was looking at the tagline here, a Kenya where every life is valued, every voice is heard, and human rights are upheld without compromise. I think this is something which all institutions which are here, from the DPP, from IPOA, from the National Police Service, this should also be our motto across the board, because that is what we are working for as Kenyan institutions. Now, I was asked by the speakers previously about this police officer called Rashid, who was charged with the killing of some young people in Pangani. But you also talked about more killings that happened in Malare and other places. I want to ask the families if they could please also report to IPOA to follow up on those cases. I think we can work together. But I know that already that case is going on. I don't know whether it has been put on his defense or not. I have not followed the case. Maybe when I go back, I will ask for a brief. But I know he has been charged, and the case is going on. I think there's a witness going on. But we are with the families. We are with you as families, as victims of enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings. I think we need to hold the government accountable. We need to hold our security forces accountable. And we need to demand for justice for the victims and the families. I have been asked also to just comment very briefly on the Gen Z protests and what we have been done as IPOA in terms of the investigations. And it is true, out of the 60 deaths which have been reported to IPOA across the country, some of the deaths were not reported to IPOA directly by victims or their families, but IPOA on their own motion, either because it's a matter which has been brought out by the public media or because of other information which IPOA received, opened these 60 files. And out of the 60 files, apart from the 2 which are in court, and they are not even murder cases, IPOA had recommended those to be charged with murder and manslaughter. But the DPP has instead changed and said, we shall go for a public inquest before you charge the officers for murder. Of course, IPOA has no authority over prosecution or the decision to charge. But the only thing IPOA is able to do is to recommend, after completing investigations, collecting evidence from all the victims, and thereafter recommend a file to the DPP. It's up to the DPP then to either accept the recommendation of IPOA or change. And in some cases, we have seen that some of the files have been returned back to IPOA with further instructions to either look at different evidence or to close the file or to bring a different angle of the investigation. So out of the 60 deaths, actually, as we are speaking now, 22 files have been completed. 22 have been completed, and there's actually a files with DPP for murder, for manslaughter against police officers. And so it's up to the DPP now to fast track reading those files and making a decision on those 20 files, which are actually now, 22 files, which are with the DPP. Now, IPOA has also faced a number of challenges when conducting investigations. Of course, the first one is a non-cooperation by the police. A lot of the cases that we're handling require IPOA to go to the police stations, to go to the scene of crime or scene of incidents, collect the ballistics, talk to the witnesses and the police officers, ask for the OB entrance, ask for the firearms register, ask for the operations order. So all this requires cooperation from the police command. And in a number of cases, we have seen a lack of cooperation or sometimes outright refusal to cooperate with IPOA, or sometimes to delay or drag on the investigations. We also have got limited forensic evidence. We don't have enough experts to look at forensic evidence. And more importantly, there's also a problem with some of the witnesses don't come forward to give evidence or to record their statements. Perhaps because they are scared about repercussions. Maybe they are scared about what's going to happen to their families. But again, we're working with the Witness Protection Agency to ensure that anyone who has come to give statements is protected. And again, the geographical spread of the cases. These cases were across the whole country. I was watching the BBC documentary, it's a 37-minute documentary, and it took them 12 months to do a very thorough study of the over 5,000 videos, 5,000 photographs. They employed more than 50 staff on those files. And then after 12 months of evidence collection, investigation, analysis, they were able to actually pinpoint the killers. And these are only three incidents of 3 deaths. IPOA is investigating 60 deaths across the whole country, from Nairobi to Kisumu to Mombasa, everywhere. And they only have 77 investigators against a demand and approved staff establishment of investigators of 650. So even if we stop doing any other deaths investigations and we just focus on Gen Z, it will take a long time for them to finish. So please, even as you rate the IPOA's functions and the work they do, I will urge you to please understand the context under which they are working, to understand the challenges they are facing, the limitations they are having, but we can be assured, all of you and all Kenyans, that IPOA is here to ensure that we hold the police accountable, to ensure that there is professionalism and discipline among the service, and we respect the rights of our Kenyans. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Chair, for that assurance. I'd forgotten one director. Please don't shoot me, Dr. Kituku from Kituo cha Sheria, please. And you were just right there, and I kind of missed you. So we are going to invite, we are going to the keynote speech by our guest of honor, the Honorable Chief Justice Emeritus of Kenya, Dr. David Kenani Maraga. Karibu sana.
The chair of IPOA, the chairman of ICJ Kenya, invited guests, the president of the Law Society of Kenya, all protocols observed. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Is it morning? If I have not had lunch, it is still morning. Thank you very much. I'm delighted to be here today for the launch of this very, very important report. I perused part of the report, and I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the Missing Voices for their incredible work in compiling the report. We have already been given the constitution of the Missing Voices. For those of us who may not be aware who they are, the Missing Voices is a coalition of human rights organizations committed to ending enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings in Kenya. The coalition envisions a society where human rights and fundamental freedoms are respected by all. The Missing Voices is a coalition of several organizations, as I've said, who are partnered and come together. The list has already been read. I don't need to repeat that. The report is a culmination of countless hours of work and tireless dedication and immense bravery on the part of the monitors, partners, and the victims of the families of the victims who have shared their harrowing stories. I take this opportunity to acknowledge once again the contributions each of these institutions has made to get this report published, as well as all the people involved, and the courage and the boldness that comes out of the report. The report serves as a crucial tool for documenting, analyzing, and raising awareness about the alarming trends of police-related violence, as well as enforced disappearances in our country. The findings of the report are deeply disconcerting to anybody who has a conscience. The report documents a sharp increase when we should be saying no more of these killings. The report comes with a sharp increase of the extrajudicial killings and enforced disappearances, demonstrating a worrying trend of state-sponsored intimidation and suppression. When you get those kind of torture, when you get those kind of killings coming out as state-sponsored, it should be something that should be worrying to every one of us. It is troubling to see that the continued and increasing number of extrajudicial killings often are carried out with impunity. The events of 25th June last year during the Gen Z demonstrations revealed the police brutality is heavily disproportionate against the youths. Ladies and gentlemen, behind each statistic in the report are human beings. Behind each statistic in the report are harrowing experiences of the family members, the anguish the parents have gone through, the anguish the family members have gone through, who must live with the loss of their loved ones, and some who have already been maimed. Those harrowing experiences, in my view, should be brought to the public fore. And I want to join Reverend Agola in calling that the organizers of this event find a way of capturing that skit that brought to life what quite a number of families are going through in this country. Get that skit. In fact, in my view, you don't need to edit it, and I mean, you don't need to edit anything, because it brings out. You even saw the baby. Yeah, I mean, I was wondering whether the baby also understood what was going on. Because those are the experiences people go through, and I think if we can get that captured so that it is shared in the public will understand what is going on. Overall, the stories are accounts. The stories and accounts covered in the report underscore the urgent need for systemic change and reform in the police service and other institutions of state, so that they act with dignity. They act to remember that they are serving human beings. They act to remember that the country requires them to be professional. The country requires them to be professional. The task force on the police reforms that I chaired between December 2022 and November 2023 carried out a comprehensive institutional assessment of the National Police Service and identified quite a number of areas that require urgent reform. We identified, for example, a number of root causes that are responsible for the poor state of the policing services in the country. These include poor training and preparedness of the police, especially in the human rights accountability, and the culture of lack of accountability, which has already been highlighted by other speakers in this forum. Reading through the report that we are launching today, one can see the connection between what I've already said. The police require a lot of training on how to handle some of the situations that they find themselves in. They must bear in mind that the Constitution guarantees picketing. And when people are picketing, the police must be trained on how to handle those situations and understand that you are not going to stop these people who have a right to picket by using brutal force. That is not something that we can condone anymore. As many of you gathered here may be aware, in May, last week, on the 1st of May 2025, Kenya was reviewed by the United Nations Human Rights Council through the Universal Periodic Review process in Geneva. The report from that process recommended quite a number of things to be done by Kenya. They have already been shared here, but because of their importance, I want to repeat them. The advance report that has been released has made recommendations to the Kenyan government that the government should, number one, conduct impartial and effective investigations into the excessive use of force by the security agencies and take responsible action. The government should also establish a legal framework to criminalize and prevent enforced disappearances and extrajudicial killings. The further recommendation is that the government should ratify the International Convention on the Protection of All Persons from Enforced Disappearance and adopt national legislation to prevent and criminalize enforced disappearance. This last recommendation, I have just been told here that the government has refused to do that. It's shocking that I don't know, how do we want to live? How do we want to live? We are an international community. I mean, if there is an international, without even this recommendation, the government should be the first one to be on the forefront of defending human life. You don't even need an international convention to do that. And here is a recommendation that has been made, and the government refuses. I want to believe that that is not true, because I can't see how any government can refuse to ratify a convention that requires that we preserve human life. I want to appreciate the role of the international community in highlighting some of these things, if for nothing else, for the record and for public information. The report we are about to launch this morning is not just a record of the past. It is also a call to action for the future. We cannot stand idle while these human rights violations continue. I think as Kenyans, we should join the missing voices and demand the immediate and concrete action from government to complete the investigations on the ongoing disappearances and prosecute those who are involved. That is something that the whole country should demand, so that the government takes action. The government should take action and ensure that this kind of atrocities do not occur in the future. Despite the grim realities documented in the report, Kenyans, and especially the young people, remain hopeful. We are inspired by the courage and the resilience of the victims of the excesses of state. We are inspired by the voices from the families who have had to bear the brunt of those atrocities. We are also inspired by the human rights defenders who have done a great job in bringing forth such reports, so that the people can understand. Sometimes we watch on the media not knowing exactly the details of what happens in the background. So I wanted to thank once again Missing Voices groups for a splendid job well done. Reading through the report, you see brave people. You see people who are saying, this cannot be allowed to go on. I want to commend you once again for a job well done and for this report, and I hope that action is going to be taken on the report. If no action is taken on the report, Madam President of the Law Society, Kenyans will join you to demand court action on the implementation of this report, so that we hold the government accountable and tell everyone that human life is sacred. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chief Justice. I'll ask that I'll call still the Chief Justice here. We are going to remove this podium because we want now to launch the report. Even as we do that, I want to thank our development partners who are here, heads of missions. Claire Thomas from US State Department, thank you so much for coming. Friends from Embassy of Netherlands, Embassy of Sweden, we recognize your presence here. Thank you, survivors of violence, including the first case of Gen Z that I hear the mother of Rex is here, and we honor her presence here today. And also Justice Center's presence and Social Justice Center Working Group that are here. We're really grateful. So next, we are going to ask our chief guest to come with a report. IPOA chair, all our development partners, we want you to come here, and our directors. Please come with your report here so that we can officially raise and toss the launch of this report. Mr. Chahali, you can come here, and Mr. Rungu. So development partners, please, our representatives from government, our directors from churches, please come have a copy. Because we don't have any more ceremonies, I'll ask. So, yeah, we are there. Let's hold the reports. The first bit, it is called the brutal policing. So I will ask you, and then I'll give the chief guest to just announce that the report is officially launched. Oh, Mama Rex, where is Mama Rex? Where is she? Okay. Mama Rex, please come. Do we have the chair of the Champions for Survivors, please? Is the Champions for Survivors here? We don't want to leave the survivors. Mama Rex, kuja hapa. Josephat, where is Josephat? Mama Rex, enda pale karibu kwa Chief Justice, usimame pale. Because survivors are really critical for us. Josephat, please, next to Isaac. So yeah, and you see Wanjira, you see the brave photo in this report is Wanjira fighting for justice, and so in 1, 2, 3, let's raise our reports and say, justice now, justice now. And then, okay, I'll give the chief guest to officially say this is launched.
Please raise the report. It is now my distinct pleasure and privilege to declare that this report is officially launched. Thank you very much.
So I'll ask. Yakija.
Sote tuko tayari. Mauaji yakija na sote tuko tayari. Yakija mbele yako. Kanyaga, kanyaga, kanyaga. Kwa nguvu. Kanyaga, kanyaga na sote tuko tayari.
Thank you so much. So I'll ask the chief guest to take a picture with the survivors. There have been a request for a specific picture with, yeah, even the chair. Please, chair, you've been requested. Chair, you've been requested to take a picture.
Na bado tuko minus. Tukuna watu flani.
Okay.
Hawatu mind us. Wananchi tunamai.
Thank you. Thank you. So we've come to the end of this function. There is food around, but I know the media may want interviews. So for media interviews, we have directors that are around here. Where do you want to do any further interviews, media? Media, do you need, where are they? By the gate, media, you can go by the gate. There is that big board. You can do your interviews there with survivors. If you need to interview survivors, if you need to interview directors of missing voices, please go there by the gate. There is a banner there. Otherwise, we can all go back. Umefika. Salimia. Nasema umesikia sababu wameitwa mnakimbia mbio.
63 zaidi ya 40 million voices.
I wonder kama Turkana kuna bar kama iko ni moja nitwa Balanja Sunday best ya hustler pajama kwa mto yua prezi mifuko za weshimiwa ni kama amboseli zimejana mandovu mifuko za wananchi ni kama kile mheshimiwa zinaga kakitu.
Tumechoka kuibiwa, tumechoka kuingizwa, tumechoka kupewa ahadi, kunyimwa miradi. Wananchi tunang'ang'ana, kila siku tunapambana, na tumechoka. Wananchi tunang'ang'ana, kila siku tunapambana.
Hizi vidole zimekonda kwa njaa, zitastango shingo zimenona kwa kunyakua. Imefika point tunachagua machozi ya tia gas tukipigania haki, ama ya mtoto tukikosa doa ya hosi. Ako huko wanagonganisha glasi wakigawana kandarasi, pata tenda bila utenda kazi. Kataa shawa lelelelelelelele, unasumbuliwa na chawa wewe.
Miaka nenda miaka rudi, story ni vile kibeba mzigo kila siku. One day I say, so we have to push for change. First I have to change myself. Nachukua hatua, I hope tuko pamoja, wewe na wewe. I say, wananchi tunang'ang'ana, kila siku tunapambana, na tumechoka. Wananchi tunang'ang'ana, kila siku tunapambana, we will never give in. Wananchi tunang'ang'ana, kila siku tunapambana, na tumechoka. Wananchi tunang'ang'ana, kila siku tunapambana.
We have a youth bank that, if not properly handled,
It is our guests and executive directors, please head to the serving points. You'll be served first. Our guests, please head to the serving point now. We are ready to start serving lunch with you.
Na mabistu wanachafua rada, na walosema jana iwezi fika leo. Tuko ground tunazoza, hakuna mboga, peleke shuleni watasoma. Madaktari wamegoma, hapo sani Yesu atatuponya. Wambie punde imechoka sana, farasi bado ijapatikana. Ni mandai wanagonya na mali wanaponda, unakonda wananona. Maandamano, 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 amise maandamano, 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 mapambano, maandamano, mapambano, bado mapambano.
Independent 60 years, tuliambiwa ni self-rule. Billions on billions, tunaibiwa na the same crooks, tunalipa madeni. Hizo ndio ma-excuse, ini generation Z. Tuwezi make the same moves, occupy parliament, twende maandamano. Tribeless, partyless, hiyo ndo msimamo. They killing us kwa protest, si bado tuna machon. RIP to our heroes, washa candles. Haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, nionyeshe politician gani mwenye simu hizi. Sunday wako church, pastor kuwabariki. Monday cheki news, another scandal iko kwa TV. Yo, kuna shughuli nataka gambogi, you must go, tunaimba kwa maploti. Ujengi shule kuna madawa kwa hosi, tumejamu usijifanye uja notice.
Maandamano, 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 amise maandamano, 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 mapambano, maandamano, mapambano, bado mapambano.
properly handled, can be a time bomb that can blow this country to pieces.
This is Hendrix Sound.
Wanadhani asi bongo lala, ikikupita we bongo lala, na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunazoza. Ajiji kumewaka sana, na mabistu wanachafua rada, na walosema jana iwezi fika leo, tuko ground tunazoza. Hakuna mboga, peleke shuleni watasoma, madaktari wamegoma, hapo sani Yesu atatuponya. Wambie punde imechoka sana, farasi bado ijapatikana, ni mandai wanagonya na mali wanaponda, unakonda wananona. Maandamano, 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 amise maandamano, 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 mapambano, maandamano, mapambano, bado mapambano.
Independent 60 years, tuliambiwa ni self-rule. Billions on billions, tunaibiwa na the same crooks, tunalipa madeni. Hizo ndio ma-excuse, ini generation Z. Tuwezi make the same moves, occupy parliament, twende maandamano. Tribeless, partyless, hiyo ndo msimamo. They killing us for protest, si bado tuna march on. RIP to our heroes, washa candles. Haki wengao na mlinzi, nionyeshe politician gani mwenye simu hizi. Sunday wako church, pastor kuwabariki. Monday checking news, another scandal liko kwa TV, yo. Kuna shughuli nataka Gambogi, you must go, tunaimba kwa maploti. Ujengi shule kuna madawa kwa hosi, tumejamu sijifanye uja notice.
Maandamano, 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 amise maandamano, 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 mapambano, maandamano, mapambano, bado mapambano.
How do you tear Gazabaki? Surely.
We are not going anywhere. We are rejecting the finance bill. Parliament South Africa. This woman.
have a youth bank that, if not properly handled, can be a time bomb that can blow this country to pieces.
This is Hendrix Sound.
Track inanichangamsha na vile nilikuwa nimechoka na kutoa kitu kidogo, ikitatao karansha dosh kama mbao kasi tatoa kitu kidogo. Sitowi kitu kidogo, nasema nene sitowi kitu kidogo, talala ndani sitowi kitu kidogo, ya mbele dosajo nimechoka na kutoa hongo, sitowi kitu kidogo, nasema nene sitowi kitu kidogo, talala ndani sitowi kitu kidogo, ya mbele dosajo nimechoka na kutoa hongo. Kila wia nadai corruption ni blanda, hata makarau lakini bado wananihanda, napatana nao usiku nkitoka job kwa njia ka sina mia hawezi nihurumia, kwanza kijana epo kwa kipande mazee Joe skinny Lisa wafande. Okay, sasa itabidi umelala naye, hapana najua right zangu hiyo sikubali, eti una right mimi naona una wrong, akanipiga kibao karivas ndani yao, wewe kaima ngako Mariamu inaniongelesha nadhani wewe ni nyanyangu. Si hivyo nimefikisha 18 tu juzi na unaweza pata ID tafa sunelo kuna upuzi ina go down Epo slow down usilewi yo lugaza kuongea ganje story kidogo nasema nini story kidogo talala ndani story kidogo ya mbele dosa joka nimechoka na kutoa ungu story kidogo nasema nini story kidogo talala ndani story kidogo ya mbele dosa joka nimechoka na kutoa tumejazana watu ka 15 kwa hiyo pick up kila store wakosi watu wa kupick up kaa huna ganji beba yeye kunikani mathri beba yeye wote wanabonga juu ya thiki anaitwa Onyi nasikia huko ndani yendo fast body wanuliza karao hamna bahati nyangao Onyi ilo nikaa kila mtu hapo wanatupa mbao wanachilia wakibrai karao na mathao kabaki solo sana elekea ndani bana nimefika nyumbani ananiandikia sina ID kwa kitabu ya OB kisha anaongezea drunk and disorderly anakubali amekosea lakini eti ana raba naweza kutongenunua raba 700 story kidogo nasema nini story kidogo talala ndani story kidogo ya mbele dosa joka nimechoka na kutoa ungu story kidogo nasema nini story kidogo talala ndani story kidogo ya mbele dosa joka nimechoka na kutoa ungu kuna nuka kacho watu wamelala kwa floor 444 hadi wana snow najisunda kando nipate kwa usingizi nasikia kila giza titi kuona si easy Onyi anabonga kidhani yatanipiga hadi ni dead anazusha ananishoni keti tunaanza kupiga story mpaka che kumbe jela sikubori napata mabesteka 52 kwa ndani mmoja mpaka ananiahidi job mtaani imepita kama mwaka tangu hiyo noma nilipata hiyo job inanilipa vinoma kwa Toyota Prado nasimamishwa na karao nacheka kama mwenda saile na mshow story kidogo nasema nini story kidogo talala ndani story kidogo ya mbele dosa joka nimechoka na kutoa ungu story kidogo nasema nini story kidogo talala ndani story kidogo ya mbele dosa joka nimechoka na kutoa ungu
Napiga wapata chapa. Mistaki hao jamaa wangu waanze hizo story. Nataka kufunga.
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your taxpayer breakfast? How is your taxpayer automobile? You know you drive it so fast. You wind up the window of your fancy car, turn on the AC. Your fancy car, you can feel the pothole. Your fancy car, you can feel the heat. You drive around in your fancy car. Mr. Politician, tell me, is it true that if we put all the land you own together, you could see it from the moon? It's crazy you have a bodyguard to protect you from me. Where do I apply? Who do I say? Be protected from you. You wind up the window, drive a fancy car, turn on the AC. Your fancy car,
generation. Let me stop pingiliaing you. After all, I chose you. Monkey see, monkey do. Wait a minute, that means you work for me. It's not the other way around. That's right. Wait till let me have some health care. Send the bill to the legislature. Oh yo, you wind up the window of your fancy car, your fancy car. Turn on the AC of your fancy car, your fancy car. You can feel the pothole in your fancy car, your fancy car. Feel the heat as you drive around, as you drive around in your fancy car. Window of your fancy car, your fancy car. Turn on the AC, boom boom, your fancy car, your fancy car. You can feel the pothole in your fancy car, your fancy car. Can feel the heat as you drive around, as you drive around. You drive around in your fancy car. Vroom vroom, vroom vroom. I'd like to say hello to all the little people. As you drive around, as you drive around, as you move around, as you look around.
That's after that, that's what made him. His eyes is opened.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Najenga inchi na inchi hainijengi. Mbuga ya wanyama, mboga kwa walafie. Nitabaki na nini? Good conduct ninayo na sina kazi. Sheria nafuata, sheria inawafuata. Nitabaki na nini? Nitabaki na nini? Nitabaki na nini? Nitabaki na nini? Nitabaki na nani? Nitabaki na nini?
Wanipa mabaki ukila minofu na huoni uchovu kunidhulumu. Hata ikiwa maisha machungu, naombea nafsi zetu kwa Mungu. Jua limechomoza, ndege angani wanapaa, ndovu misituni, amani mioyoni, huzuni sioni, nishang'aa.
Mwananchi ya kawaida anapeleka tumbo ina njaa, huru pa kusikiza uongo ya mwanasiasa. Wanalinda tajiri kwa bunduki na maskini kwa rungu. Then you call me a brother. Kwani
Nitabaki na nini kama freedom ya wananchi haiko na mimi? Na nitabaki na nani kama waliotuacha hawahesabiki? Najenga inchi na inchi hainijengi. Mbuga ya wanyama, mboga kwa walafie. Nitabaki na nini? Good conduct ninayo na sina kazi. Sheria nafuata, sheria inawafuata. Nitabaki na nini? Nitabaki na nini? Nitabaki na nini? Nitabaki na
ubaguzi. Sisi ni kama composition bila paragraph, wengi wamekosa haya. Tribalism ni kama dhambi yenye hata external hard disk ya million terabyte haiko enough to save. The only person iko allowed kuita baba ni yule mwenye unishave.
Yani siasa ingekuwa ni bibi ningeipatia talaka juu kazi ni kutugawanya kwa matabaka. Eti chief anaambia watu wakate nyasi na tunajua yule msichana walimbaka. Wanatupelekea security kwa mpaka na tunajua tu shida iko hapa hapa. Wakichukua nitabaki na nini?
Nitabaki na nini? Mie mwenye inchi nafungua macho nisipoteze kila ninacho. Sitatumia kifua, nitatumia ubongo. Maarifa nimepata kwa taarifa. Mwananchi mjenga taifa.
Ugaidi ni hali, uwezi maliza the two other facets a national anthem. Ukishinda na nguruwe, usicomplain matope. Upendo, amani, sote tuko sote. Ukweli wameficha, kakatao cha Toyota. Vitu si laini, lakini ulipopanga laini ukuwekewa kamote. Semwe, tushikane, tujenge inchi, tukamwote.
Nitabaki na nini? Nitabaki na nani? Nitabaki na nini?
Sasa wewe unamwaje?
Dekali la kipas. Youthman, ninabonga na wewe. Youthman, ninabonga na wewe. Tewachananga. Youthman, tewachananga. Youthman, nina. Kwa watoto, vijana na wazee, tuungane na upendo uendelee. Tuwakilishe zetu rika na tupa.
law must be followed. Human rights must be promoted and protected and observed. Every Kenyan has the right to protest. Every Kenyan has the right to demand service. Every Kenyan has a right to be represented because we have institutions, systems, and laws at work. So we call upon the police to up their game, also to accept accountability because nobody is above the law.
Leo nimebeba tu hii. Leo yangu nilipata kama inaenda mahali. Kasema hiyo nichukue hizi.
Food is my weakest point.
Wow, kasi utatoa kitu kidogo. Story kidogo. Nasema nini? Story kidogo. Utalala ndani. Story kidogo. Niambele dosa joka. Nimechoka na kutoa Mungu. Story kidogo. Nasema nini? Story kidogo. Utalala ndani. Story kidogo. Niambele dosa joka. Nimechoka na kutoa Mungu. Kila wii anadai corruption ni blanda. Hata makarau lakini bado wananihanda. Napatana nao usiku kitoka job kwa njia ka sina mia hawezi nihudumia. Kwanza kijana epuka wa kipande. Mazee Joe skinny Lisa wafande. Okay, sasa itabidi umelala naye. Hapana, najua right zangu yo sikubali. Ati una right, mimi naona una wrong. Akanipiga kibao karivasi ndani yao. Kweka ima ngako Mariamu. Inaniongelesha nadhani wewe ni nyanyangu. Si hivyo nimefikisha 18 tu juzi. Napata ID tafa shunelo kuna upuzi. Ina go down. Hebu slow down. Usilevi yo unaanza kuongea ganje. Story kidogo. Nasema nini? Story kidogo. Utalala ndani. Story kidogo. Niambele dosa joka. Nimechoka na kutoa Mungu. Story kidogo. Nasema nini? Story kidogo. Utalala ndani. Story kidogo. Niambele dosa joka. Nimechoka na kutoa Mungu. Tumejazana watu ka 15 kwa hiyo pika. Kila store wakosi watu wa kupika. Kaa huna ganji. Beba yeye. Kunikani mathri. Beba yeye. Wote wanabonga juu ya toki anaiko onyi. Nasikia huko ndani yendo fast body. Wanauliza karao. Hamna bahati nyangao onyi hilo. Nikaa kila mtu hapo wanatupa mbao. Wanachilia wakibrai karao na mathao. Ukabaki solo sana elekea ndani bana. Nimefika nyumbani. Ananiandikia sina ID kwa kitabu ya OB. Kisha anaongezea drunk and nakubali amekosea lakini eti ana raba. Story kidogo. Nasema nini? Story kidogo. Utalala ndani. Story kidogo. Niambele dosa joka. Nimechoka na kutoa Mungu. Story kidogo. Nasema nini? Story kidogo. Utalala ndani. Story kidogo. Niambele dosa joka. Nimechoka na kutoa Mungu. Kuna nuka kacho watu wamelala kwa floor 444 hadi wana snow najisunda kando nipate kausingizi nasikia kuna giza tititi kuona si easy onyi anabonga nikidhani yatanipiga hadi ni dedi anazusha ananishauri keti tunaanza kupiga story mpaka che kumbe jela siku bori napata mabeste ka 52 uko ndani mmoja mpaka ananiahidi job mtaani imepita kama mwaka tangu hiyo noma nilipata hiyo job inanilipa vinoma kwa Toyota Prado nasimamishwa na karao na cheka kama mwenda saile na mshow story kidogo nasema nini story kidogo talala ndani story kidogo ya mbele ndo sajo nimechoka na kutoa hongo story kidogo nasema nini story kidogo talala ndani story kidogo ya mbele ndo sajo nimechoka na kutoa hongo
Mr. Politician, it's good to see you again. It's been so long since you've been here. You had me thinking you were dead. How's your taxpayer mansion? How was your taxpayer breakfast? How is your taxpayer automobile? You know you drive it so fast. You wind up the window of your fancy car, your fancy car. Turn on the AC. Your fancy car, your fancy car. You can feel the pothole. Your fancy car, your fancy car. You can feel the heat as you drive around in your fancy car. Mr. Politician, tell me, is it true that if we put all the land you own together, you could see it from the moon? It's crazy you have a bodyguard to protect you from me. Where do I apply? Who do I say to be protected from you? You wind up the window, drive your fancy car, your fancy car. Turn on the AC of your fancy car, your fancy car. You can feel the pothole, your fancy car, your fancy car. You can feel the heat as you drive around in your fancy car. Mr. Politician, let me stop pingiliaing you. After all, I chose you. Monkey see, monkey do. Wait a minute, that means you